The heat of him pressed into my skin before he even touched me, and I couldn't tell if I was terrified or desperate for it. My chest throbbed under a weight I couldn't name, every inhale sinking with him, every step closer pulling me against my own will. The danger of surrender cut sharper than the cold stone around us. The bond between us twisted, silent and unforgiving. One slip, one tremor, and nothing would ever be the same. Tomorrow, this moment will demand everything I'm not ready to give. I swallowed, heart hammering, and let him fill the space I thought belonged only to me. This is Bound to Blood and Moonlight, a good werewolf romance. As always, I read for you, and you enjoy the plot. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Let us read. Leora stumbled backward. Her spine hit the cold stone of the corridor. The elders were gone, but the air still thrummed with the prophecy's lingering warning. Damien stepped into the entryway, blocking any thought of escape. Her heart lurched at his presence, sharp, sudden, a mix of annoyance and unease. The bond between them coiled tightly, pressing into her gut, and he hadn't even touched her yet. The flickering light above buzzed faintly, adding to the disorienting tension. Her knees weakened before he made a move. He stepped closer, each movement deliberate, erasing the space between them. The air around her seemed to warp, bending like heat above a fire, pressing against her skin like a tangible sheet. Her chest constricted. Breaths came fast, shallow. She kept her gaze on the stone floor, refusing to meet his eyes. But the resistance did nothing to lessen the bond's pull. Around the edges of his dark silhouette, her vision blurred. The only sharp presence was the oppressive warmth radiating from him. Then his eyes flashed gold. The sudden transformation cut through the haze. Damien's jaw clenched tight, skin stretching over his cheekbones. A primal alarm surged through her. Instinctively, she knew this wasn't desire. It was the wolf struggling to contain itself. A low, guttural sound vibrated from his throat. Pure, wild distress. Leora tried to draw a steady breath, but the air tasted metallic, coppery, mingling with the raw fear stirring inside her. She recoiled, pressing her head back against the wall. It was sickening, like old blood or cheap metal. She couldn't tell if it was real or just another surge of the bond's unpredictable power. The taste lingered on her tongue. Wrong. Invasive. Damien lifted his hand, not touching her, but tracing a warm arc through the air beside her cheek. The draft feathered across her skin. The restraint in his movement struck her like a physical blow. His fingers trembled. She could feel his fear. Of the bond, of himself, of what he might become. She clamped her mouth shut, trying to anchor herself. But as her lungs expanded, they synced involuntarily with his. Each inhale, each exhale, matching his sharp, controlled rhythm. She lost all sense of separation. Her body was no longer hers alone. It moved as part of a dangerous, unsteady unity. She pressed her palm to the wall, seeking something solid. The stone should have been cool, steady. But under her fingertips, it thrummed faintly, an internal vibration mirroring the pressure in her chest. Terrified, disoriented, she yanked her hand back. Was it real, or just another distortion of the bond? Damien exhaled sharply, stepping back slightly, offering a brief glimpse of the corridor beyond. Relief flared bright, desperate, but fleeting. The bond reacted instantly. An invisible, crushing pulse pressed her toward him. She stumbled, unbalanced. Before she could reach the wall, his arm shot around her waist. One searing hand held her tight. The heat of his skin against hers detonated, a terrifying mix of desire and panic. She gasped against his shoulder, overwhelmed by the intensity. With her trapped against him, their momentum froze in precarious stillness. She lifted her head. Their foreheads met. The contact ignited a raw, burning yearning neither could deny. A silent argument waged between them. Sparks of heat flowed outward, merging from body to body. Without thinking, she tipped forward slightly. Her lips brushed his, fleeting. A single breath, one trembling instant. The touch, small as it was, shattered her restraint. Longing erupted into complete surrender. His breath caught against hers. A choked, desperate sound. The surge between them detonated. Pain and pleasure collided violently. The copper taste flooded her mouth, burning over the heat of their connection. His lips pressed rigidly against hers, teeth briefly brushing, eyes fully gold, feral. His claws half-formed at the hand on her waist, digging in as his wolf fought to take over. The kiss, driven by the bond and the surge of trauma, became a maelstrom of raw fear and instinct. Then, with a guttural wrench, Damien threw himself back, slamming into the opposite wall. The impact echoed the violent control he had fought to maintain. Leora's terror shifted to bewildered emptiness, the space where he had been felt like a physical void. The bond ached in response. He slid slightly down the stone, gold eyes still glimmering with feral energy, and whispered, "What did we just do?" Leora raised a trembling hand, instinctively wiping her lips to rid herself of the metallic taste. Her fingers froze at the faint, cold tingling lingering there. A dark, oxidized smear stained them. She scraped it lightly against her thumb. Copper again, not blood, but something wrong, something unnatural. She looked toward Damien, pressed against the far wall, and whispered, barely audible, "What's happening to us?"